it's been great to, of course, got these two cats there right here, so which is really good, especially the new one.
Let me see it.
Right
what do you got there?
This is so this is my brand new custom made
new Ibanez
BTB. This was made at the Los Angeles custom shop.
Okay.
And this was to my specifications, and yes, it's based on a BTB model, obviously. The
body shape
is very, but there are some differences from a typical BTB. Usually a BTB is about 35-inch scale. A little longer. This is 34. I like the 34, just so I don't have to reach down so much. That's the really cool thing about it. It's really comfortable. The neck, the grip, and the width essentially is the same. Of my groove line bass here that a lot of people see me play. So
also an Ibanez.
Also an Ibanez, I only play Ibanez basses. I don't have any other basses apart from the upright bass, which is a Shen. But all my bass guitars are Ibanez. But this one, of course,
if the video of this doesn't get released, let's talk about the pickup configuration. So you have two single coils and a P bass style in the middle. And what looks to be air traffic control knobs. I think I'm counting about 29 toggle switches on this bass.
That's about right. One is for room service, a wake up call, ejection
you can call valet.
Exactly. When the gig is done and you want your car to, as soon as you get out the door, your car is waiting for you right there.
Amazing.
Exactly. So this pickup configuration is not anything new. We've seen this before on other basses, particularly someone like Stu Ham, like on his old Fender Urge bass. Jimmy Earl is another person that I've seen on who's done that. Well, I just wanted to do something a little different, essentially from what I've typically done, just to try something new. And I've been digging it. So essentially, the electronics in this instrument, it's quite almost like a Frankenstein. This is what makes it very custom. They're all different, and I wanted to have different elements of things that I've tried over the years that I've really enjoyed. So these two pickups, the same pickups in my groove line right here, and these
are the single coil that you're pointing to.
These are called the Sonic Arch Cap pickups, made by Ibanez, and they're radiused as well, which is really cool. So you get a pretty even attack on the strings.
But that's since it's a 6-string, that's probably got a pretty flat radius on the fingerboard side of the neck.
It's not so flat. There is a slight radius. I can't tell you what the curve is, but when you look at it,
there's some shape to it.
Exactly. Which is cool. I mean, it's the same on this one as well.
So is it the same headstock too, or is it just the same neck? A little bit different headstock.
This is a BTB headstock essentially. It's mainly the neck that is very close to this. This one's just a little thinner. I wanted to have something just a little thinner. This one has a little more thickness to it. So with the electronic, this is the pickups. These are essentially in the typical 60s jazz bass spacing. Which is the same on this instrument too, and I really like that sound. Especially, there's a vibe about that whole back pickup in the 60s that I like.
60s versus 70s, but
which I prefer.
Wasn't the neck always the same? Like the neck jazz pickup was always in the same place. It was just the 70s that they bumped it closer to the bridge. Just a little bit, and that makes such a difference. It does.
Obviously, when we listen to people like Marcus Miller, that slap sound is very distinctive of a 70s jazz bass, with that being just slightly closer to the bridge.
You get that little extra tension coming off the bridge.
Exactly, a little more brightness as well. but I really like the 60s. That's me. That's my preference. And then this P pickup is not typically in a typical P bass position.
Yeah, it looks closer to the bridge than it
it's
would
a little
normally
closer
be.
Which is really cool because it's just a little different.
Yeah.
But I think the cool thing is that it can fit in between these two pickups.
Yeah.
And that's an Aguilar pickup, so totally different from that. It's just because they were one of the only pickup companies that have a 6-string P bass pickup on hand, ready to go. I know Kerry Nordstrand does one, but at the time when we were doing this, I don't think it was available. But speaking of Nordstrand, the preamp is a Nordstrand preamp. Because I've played some basses with Nordstrand preamps in there, and they've just been absolutely wonderful, and so I wanted to include that in there. So now the switching, essentially, the switches, the 3 on the top here.
Right. So there's for the audio version of this, there's a row of 3 toggles on top, followed by a row of 2 toggles on the bottom, and then we have 5 knobs. So we'll go through all that.
Absolutely, yeah. So the 3 switches on the top are just on and off switches for each pickup.
Oh, okay.
Just as simple like that. So right now, when they're all down, the bass is off.
Okay.
When I put on the first switch, it's this neck pickup.
The neck single coil.
Yep. And then the one in the middle is the P bass Aguilar pickup. And so forth. And then so I can have different combinations, which is really cool. I can have all 3 on if I want. I can have the neck single coil and the P bass and vice versa. Like
now I'm curious about this because when I was co-designing my signature, I was reading up a lot about pickup placement and phase cancellation. Now I know that when both jazz pickups on a standard jazz are full out, you're gonna experience some phase cancellation. What about this P pickup so close to the neck or the bridge jazz pickup? Do you experience any phase cancellation there?
No.
Anything you've noticed, like the sound doesn't suffer? You're really getting full of both?
I'm definitely getting full. That's for sure.
Okay. Got some brand new strings on there too. That's what it sounds
actually, like. These are newer strings. I mean, what you're probably hearing too is my microphone.
Yeah, I'm not sitting in front of a bass amp. Right? You're in New Zealand.
Right. But essentially, I mean, I put these strings on a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, I've been playing this bass so much that they're already they've worn in a lot. So that's the other thing too. But yeah,
are they nickel or steel?
These are nickel. They're GHS. I use GHS strings, and I like the nickel wound just because they have a nice slick feel.
Smoother, not so bright.
Exactly. I'm not so much into the bright, but I can get the brightness if I want. Like for slapping, it's totally doable. That's why you got an active preamp. So the 2 switches on the bottom, essentially, one of them is an active and passive switch, which is very handy.
Sure.
Obviously, the battery dies. This is 18-volt battery.
Oh wow. Okay. You need a generator to plug right into the bass.
Exactly. It's almost like an alembic. You have like a power amp. It's really cool. But yeah, active and passive, and then I have a mid-frequency switch. So just when it's in the up position, I don't know the exact frequencies, but well, I can give you an idea what it sounds like. So in the up position, it's doing the lower mid. So right now, it's flat, and then if I turn it up, and then it does on the down position, it does the higher mids.
Okay.
So you can adjust it however you want it, which is really cool.
Yeah. Super versatile.
Very, and then typical 3-band EQ, and then a master volume knob, and then this other knob I have is just a passive tone control.
Okay.
Which works in both active and passive.
Yeah.
I still like you know, like on the old passive basses, I like to have, instead of having to use a treble, which doesn't necessarily kind of cut all the treble.
Right.
I like to have a tone knob that actually makes it warm, but takes away the string noise if necessary.
Sure.
And then also, I can, even with the tone rolled all the way on, like to its full brightness, I can still get a nice warm sound, but with a little brightness, a little more vintage jazz bass, with the treble rolled all the way off,
right,
which is really cool. Sometimes I'm not so much into like the hi-fi, like tweeter box sound.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know, there's a time and place for it.
Yeah, and I feel like that sound is, you know, very much a part of specific genre vocabulary. Like the gospel guys kind of have that sound, and that's crushing for that genre. You know, because they're gonna a lot of slap stuff, really percussive playing, and all that'll pop. Yeah,
definitely cut through. I think just for my ears, sometimes, and for me personally, I can't handle too much string noise, especially if you got cymbals and whatnot that are in that register as well, hi-hats, and sometimes it can just be, maybe it's just my ears, my hearing is going or something, I don't know.
It comes along with the heartburn. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and the gray hairs, you know. So